Well, Bob, it's really interesting, right? Because Keegan Bradley has now moved to ninth on the Team USA Ryder Cup team standings. We know he's going to be there as the captain, but now that he has that victory, what do you think? Should Keegan Bradley be a playing captain for Team USA?
I don't know. This is a tough decision for him. And I think that what he has to do, and this is going to sound weird, but he has to sort of almost have two Keegan Bradleys. You have to sit one off to the side. Keegan Bradley, the player, how's he playing? If his name was Joe Smith, would you pick him? And then Keegan Bradley, the captain, and what are your responsibilities? Now we saw Tiger Woods at the President's Cup do it a number of years ago, but the last player captain was Arnold Palmer. I think he's got some time to see what other players are going to do. He's got a lot of tournaments left, so he might not even end up inside the top 12. If he's not inside the top 10, I would say, and he doesn't do something, play pretty consistently well for the next little stretch, I think that he would opt out. I think it would save a lot of problems, save a lot of issues, save a lot of finger pointing, and somebody's going to be sitting on the sideline who thinks they want to be on. But if he's in the top six and automatically qualifies, well, then you don't have to worry. So maybe he just, as they say, that the answer to every problem in golf is just play better.
It really is. And it's so interesting because it's about a year ago now that when he initially got the call to be asked to be the US Ryder Cup team captain last year at the Travelers Championship. And now Keegan Bradley's the seventh ranked player in the world. That's a career best for him. So, Bob, as we look ahead, sort of big picture here, just how impressive has this run been by Keegan Bradley to play as well as he's been playing, given all of the other responsibilities he has as the U.S. Ryder Cup captain?
It's huge, and it's also, he's not a young player anymore. He's sort of into the latter part of his career before he goes to the Champions Tour, presumably. So it's certainly impressive to see him play this well. It's certainly impressive to see him play this well consistently. As you said, seventh in the world right now, and I don't know. Maybe we give a little credit to his caddy, Scott Vale, Oshawa, Ontario. Shout out there. But I do think that he's found a little bit of I don't know, extra power, extra juice, and maybe it's because he is the Ryder Cup captain as opposed to in spite of it. Maybe he's playing better because he's got all these other duties, and maybe there's taking a little bit of time away from his headspace is getting a little bit away from it all. It is a full-time job. Just talked to Mike Weir over the last couple of years, what he was talking about, and all the things you have to do, and all the things you have to accept. And it's not all about choosing players. It's like hiring the analytics team. It's like what uniforms are we going to wear in the opening ceremonies. There are all sorts of little things that you have to put together. And so for him to play this well with all this going on, as well as regular life, I think it's remarkable and it's fun to watch.
He's now one of four players who has won at least once in three consecutive seasons, joining Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, and Nick Taylor as well. So Keegan Bradley on quite the run right now. But Keegan Bradley had a big comeback in that final round of the Travelers Championship because, yet again, Bob, Tommy Fleetwood can't get it done. He started the day with a three-shot lead, bogeys on two of his last three holes. Do you think Tommy will leave the Travelers Championship with some scar tissue?
Oh yeah, scar tissue on top of scar tissue, right? I mean, sometimes he gets beaten, like when Nick Taylor sinks a 72-foot putt, and sometimes he beats himself. And I think this one was one where he beat himself. I mean, listen, it's not an easy course out there. We were walking around it at the start of the weekend, and you can see that there are some pretty challenging holes out there. But he got off to such a crummy start. I think birdie or bogeyed three of the first four, fell out of the lead, and starts to struggle back. And then you see him coming down the stretch, and I don't want to say this harshly, but it almost seemed like you could see the wheels coming off. You could almost feel that this wasn't going to happen. You certainly, I mean, so many people were pulling for him because he is such a good guy. And just the look on his face afterwards in the scoring tent, there was an image of it. It just kind of tells you everything you need to know. And hopefully along the lines, he'll get this win. He's got a great record. He's way up there on the FedEx Cup standings, but he's missing that one thing on the PGA Tour.
Now, 42 top tens on the PGA Tour without a victory. That's eight more than any other player since 1983. And who knows, maybe we'll see some sort of Ryder Cup rematch with Tommy Fleetwood and Keegan Bradley a little later this year.